Howdy folks, it's Johan, your favorite little ink blob, back at it today with a little bit of March. Again, doing this offline, just kinda feeling it. Last night was rough, and I wanna come back at it, hopefully with a better attitude, and hopefully, if things are just, not going well, we back out, and that's okay. It is okay. But, wanna start off, see if we can get this A+, on the attic. With our lovely, unlocked cosmetics being a little more Halloween-y. Got the, like, sort of arrow through our head type deal going on. This'll take a little while. Gotta get back in that groove, right? Bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum. Okay. Lots of throwing stuff out. Don't love that miss, but... So we're on phase 2. Ah. Just barely clipped it. Could restart, but I think doing a couple of full runs just sort of always seems to help us get more in the groove. I think that was part of my issue with the speedruns last night was I was so focused on getting the good time that I was canceling out of pretty much all the runs, so I wasn't just getting a, hey, you know what? We're gonna do it bad in there. Okay. Phase 4. Bum 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 bum. On the left. Now on the right. Ah, and it got us. But I think that was a pretty good time if we managed to avoid that, you know, little thing we call death. Something near joke. Ooh, that was not classy. Bum 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 bum. I mean, as with a lot of things, I think there's this idea of learn how to do it well first, and then learn how to do it fast. So I think just getting through a run, right? Learning how just, you know, getting ourselves back on the, hey, we can beat the box, and then looking at, hey, can we do it fast enough? Can we do it without taking too many hits? Ah, yeah, I was jumping way too early there. You know, it's given us that, like, well, okay, we can do it, so now can we do it? We can do it well enough to win. Now can we do it well enough to get the A+? Okay. Don't love the double magnet. Oop. Yep, that was stupid. Ah, man. Apparently we still have issues with the box. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Okay. That's looking good. Probably could have been a little more brave there. Whew, that was definitely brave and possibly stupid. Woo! I don't love the bounciness. Ah. Got myself caught between a rock and the hard place. Okay, so we're under it right at the end there. We can sink most of our shot. Okay. On the left. Okay, light in the middle. On the left again. The randomness of the spiders is spookier than the spiders themselves. Ah. Ooh, and missed most of those. Woo! Ah. Oh man. Oh, and right at that there too. Woo. I'm feeling very itchy right now, which is probably not fantastic for concentration, but it's obviously, you know what? That's because we're trying to scratch the itch for victory. Definitely. Okay, second phase already. Whew. Magnets, man. Like a built-in annoying mode. Oop! Darn. We were already on to the next phase, and I just wasted 2. Oh, crap. Okay. Missed most of that, sad. Magnets. Bum 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 ba-dum dum. Not fantastic. So I think just trying to GTFO no matter what. Trying to sink shots when you're under it is just a bad idea. Oh, no! And that was pretty close, wasn't it? Yeah, we got most of the shots we needed while it was transitioning. Boom bum 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 bum. Okay. This is fine. I say, no, do not itch your nose. Meat Han is failing Johan here, I think. Bum 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 ba-da-dum ba-dum. Second phase. Oh, missing time. Bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-dum ba-dum bum bum ba-da-dum. Ba-da-dum bum 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 ba-da-dum. Bum 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 ba-da-dum. Ooh, that was quite unnecessarily risky. And that was a waste. Boo-doo-doo. Ah, and didn't GTFO enough. You know that thing that I said I should probably not do? I did it. I did the thing. What's that? Where's that post about the, bad decisions bagel when you need it? Okay. Blue magnet gone. Whoop. Boom, boom, boom. On the left. Whoa. Nice. Sinking the shots. the left again. Woo! Random spiders. Oh no! The leg got me. And so definitely not a good one. I am curious on the time though. Okay, that's about 20 seconds better than we got last night when we did a full health run. So like, I think we're doing better for the pace, just need to figure out how to do that pace without getting hit. Nice and simple. So all we need to do is figure out how to play the game. Oh, why didn't you say so? 3. 3.5, 4.5. Ah, that was 5.5, so this should be phase 2, I think. That's definitely phase 2, yep. No, we're gonna restart that. Hooah! I definitely did not see correctly where that was and noped out a little early, but I think that was still fine. Okay. Woohoo! Dodging between the shots is a spooky endeavor. Okay. Oh, getting myself really trapped there, but we got lucky. Okay, and we also were not where we should be on those shots, but, or on the jumps, but, okay. Some wasted, but this is alright. Okay, just keep going. Okay. Nice. Yes, that was indeed it. Goddamn magnet. Okay. Blue magnet gone. On the left, good shots. Okay. On the left again. Come on. Woo, on the right and almost hit by a spider. Wasted that potion. No! No, 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 no! Not the leg! What was the time there, though? 156? I'm guessing, like, because I think we got it. Yeah, so that was within time, because otherwise it would have been a B+ since we missed a health. So I think it's like under probably 2 minutes or 2 minutes and 10 seconds, somewhere in there. Okay. We will get this. Yeah, like we've been... Skylia is one that we should also probably practice a little more. But we've really been kind of choking on the box, considering that I thought we were a lot better at it, but seems that that's not entirely the case. At the same time, like, chaining together a speedrun is legitimately a lot more difficult because you do not have the, like, rest breaks, right? You are just doing it back to back and you cannot screw up. It is a lot of focus. Which is, I think, pretty typical, just not something that I've done for a lot of games. Okay. Again, mostly a strategy person. And a lot of times when I'm playing games, I like to be listening to something in the background, so having to just sort of listen to myself. Woo! That was sketch, but we will take it. Okay. Probably held that a little long, but okay, we're dialing that in. Whoop. Okay. Phase 4. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. On the right. Ooh, aggressive magnet. Sir. Sir. Okay, missed those. Missed those, man. Just a little slow. Trying to not get hit. Crap. This, we probably aren't on... Oh, okay. I don't think we're on time for it, but we will see. 155! Holy crap. You don't say. What shall we kill next? Hoo-ah! That's an A+. Nice. Okay. Skylia. Still have not gotten A+ Skylia. Let's see if we can do that. So, yeah, just being on the ground does not sink everything, but accepting that we can lead the shots a bit, I think is quite useful. Although, I really mucked that one up. I think Skylia is another one where it is hard to get her done without taking damage, and particularly if you can do it without damage, without losing way too much time. There, I probably could have gotten the potion before the laser, which would have saved us some respawn time, but... Okay. Okay, big down attack. Okay, we could rest on that platform, which was nice. Ah. Yeah, that one I need to let that one hang in the air a little longer, but... Okay. And we are super well lined up. Should have waited a little longer. Okay, final phase. Okay, wasting a lot of juice. And we were just a little too low on that. Man, okay. The height seems to be a bit of an issue for me. It's a lot faster. Oh man, and just that little love tap. Oh, ho 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 ho. Whew. Even if I get this, the consistency on Skylia is gonna be... That's gonna be tough. Because I don't know, it feels a lot more random. That was a sad miss. I mean, like the movement of the platforms. I mean, that's probably a restart. Yeah, that's a restart. The movement of the platforms is, at least for me, kind of hard to track. Okay, does she always start going left, I wonder? Little things that you should probably pay attention to. Ooh, and that was a lot of missing. Yeah, so one jump seems to make a pretty big difference for sinking more of the shots. Even if 2 is sometimes necessary for everything, can also be a little risky. Whoop. Okay. Little bit of a love tap. Okay. Woo! Near miss. Woohoo! Yeah. The hang time is one that I need to practice, because that was a really big tool that Silver was using. Was the jump once and then sort of let it hang and then jump again, so that you're kind of creating your own ground, which makes me very nervous because I have a hard enough time finding ground without having to worry about making my own. So I'm really curious if that's going to be an A. If that's an A, even if it's not an A+, I'm going to be very happy. Yeah! So that was on time. And I felt like that was something where I kind of mucked about it a bit too much, so... Whoop. That's heartening. I mean, that's an improvement over what we had previously, so, hells yeah. Yep, so left again. Okay. So that... Part of it, I think a lot of what's different between those is when I'm starting to shoot within my jump. Woohoo! That was, clenchy. Yeah, like, so I'm taking more hits in the first bit because I'm being more aggressive about it, which is somewhat needed for the time, but also, you know, obviously a bit of a problem. Because I think a lot of my strategies hinged around just being a lot safer. Like, I definitely was trying to go more and more for, hey, let's try and reduce the respawn time, but I also I have been up until this point mostly focused on just not taking hits, so my muscle memory is to not get hit, not to, make sure that everything gets sunk and I'm taking the risks necessary to minimize respawn times. That's good. So that was like 2 hits already. Okay. Oh, see, that hang time, because I panic about falling, and then instead of getting the hang time, I get into Skylia. Woohoo! Oh, not the tilt. Oh. Oh dear. Oh no. Hooah. Okay. Little 2 jumps. Little Mr. 2 jumps. Oh. Not into the laser, Johan. The laser is death. You know, because that's kind of a hard thing to figure out. as I'm saying how stupid that of a statement that is, apparently, I once again demonstrate that's what I need. Using the lag time there, I probably could have made it with the laser, but... Wah. But yeah, so some of the stuff, if we're on the correct side of her, we can do a double jump so that we're getting as much of the juice out there as possible. Oh, that was bad. I literally saw that falling and went, oh, I can beat it. No, you cannot, Johan. So we missed a few there because there was too much horizontal motion. That was fantastic, though. Woohoo! That was risky without necessarily a whole lot of reward, but guess it worked for us this time. Okay. It's probably our fastest phase 1 that we've gotten. That was some good. Phase 2, even... Oh, that was sad. But we got a rescue there. You see how I panic and then I get very uncontrolled because I don't know when that, like, extra jump that we sometimes get on the level comes back in. I don't have a good feel for that, so it's just sort of a flail about and find out. Okay, phase 3. Don't get too fancy with this, Johan. Woo! I tried to get too fancy, and that was almost really bad. Whew! But I think that was one of our best times, and no hits. Hell yes. That is what we're talking about. Okay. So... A+ Scrapa? Scrapa, I think, is one that we can probably even S-rank, even though I've kind of been having bad performance with him. I just kind of get the feeling that it's doable, even if I've not been demonstrating that to myself as well as I'd like. Oh, that was a bad combination of things. But as with previously, just let ourselves play through and worry about... Oh. Worry about getting it perfect later. Learning to get better about following the movements. Whew! And snaking those from the jaws of defeat. Now, that was bad. With the laser, but... like, that's fine. Man, we spent so much time on Scrapa. Like, our first time beating. So... that's a good... the improvement feels good, even if this is not, like, best Scrapa run we've ever seen. Okay. Oop! Terrible timing. Oh, and right, he goes a little over half of the screen. Okay. So what is Scrapa? I guess he's like an alien robot? I haven't really thought a huge amount about that. But he's, like in, angles in Nier. He's just a big old boy. But I guess he wasn't, like, made sentient by the goop, right? Whoop. Bad timing on that. Oh, if I'd stayed low, that would have worked, I think. But I'm just like, so why are we fighting? I guess because he's guarding the ship for whatever its purposes were? Boom, 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 boom. But, I don't know. Why fight large robot man? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Mars 2 Scrapa friendship? Maybe? So drop down. No collection, so move. Boop. 2 shots. Okay. Right. He's like, yes, don't make the same mistake. Don't go across the midpoint. Oh god. Yeah, that's all too low. Not the red dot at the top messes with my ability to rapidly engage. Okay. So we took 2 hits, so 1 health, so we should... I think that's a B+. I think that was on time, but it might not have been. Okay, that is. So we've got, again, I would say a fair bit of time leeway. Okay. Whew. Okay, yes. When you've already committed to an attack and then it starts flashing, you know it's Jover. Or Yover, I guess, since I am, in fact, Johan. Ah, man. Some of those feel unfair, but I'm also just out of practice. Missed a number of those. Oh, and that was very much on me. Oh, I could do Scrapa on S rank, I bet. Okay. Maybe slow your roll. Speaking of roll. Ooh. Getting cocky. I guess part of it is, I think the floor I'm treating as hot before it is, which is part of why it feels like there's, less time than there actually is. And the transition attack, I'm not doing as well as I should. Because you kind of need to stay with the eye, I guess? Is like, letting it go above and trying to fall down into it, I think is not the move. Because Scrapa is moving around way too much. Okay. Nice. Potion collect. Double potion collect, although I wasted a fair bit of it, but that's still... That was nice time-wise. Woohoo! That was keeping me frisky. Sir, why would you eat where we're trying to get our potion from? Okay, immediately over. There we go. What is our time? Oh wait, we took a hit? When did we take a hit in there? I don't remember taking that hit. I probably even commented on it and just brain didn't. I was like, oh, we're on track. No, we weren't, you fool. Johan, you fool. Okay, wow. See, me easily distractible, me going, ooh, fly you fools. But, also recognizing that, like, having read The Lord of the Rings, that's the Balrog, right? I know that there's a number of things that the movies say versus what the books say, and I can never keep them straight. It's fly you fools in the book, in the movie, both, neither. Okay. There we go. We sank more in. No, I mean, it took me... I think the... Ah, no! Trying to remember... I watched the Lord of the Rings movies for the first time. I think that was this, like, past December, so about a year ago. But up until then, it had only ever been the books for me. I've read The Hobbit a number of times. I've only read the books once, and that was quite some time ago. Oh, just lightly tagging us. Wah, 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 wah. I don't know, Lord of the Rings really captured my attention as a kid. I enjoyed the books, right? And part of why I enjoyed it is because they were kinda stale. A lot of fantasy was meant to be exciting to kids. Whoop. And sometimes you just want a really cool world that feels like it's existed for a long time outside of the little slice that you get to see of it, right? That's the good world building. Speaking of which, I still need to read, or just, I mean, maybe even just watch, Dune? Because I know that, oh, not Frank Herbert. What's his name? The guy who wrote Dune. I know that he's also someone who, okay, move to the right, who, is supposed to, have done a oh, it tags us and then we don't hear it because it's so loud. I have heard from a number of folks that I respect that he is also masterful in world building. So I should probably enjoy Dune. But oh. I don't know, it's like, I would like to go back and read some of the fantasy books in my childhood, but I was a big fan of Redwall by Brian Jacques. Cute little woodland creatures in an abbey, but like there was not a whole lot of depth to that world building. And I say this as someone who really enjoyed some of the, I guess, wonkier characters. The Long Patrol and the Badgers, Salamandastron. Nice. Woo. It just sort of, it felt, we did not get to see a whole lot of them because the mice and squirrels and such, the more sort of common ones, got a lot more attention, and I can understand why, to a certain extent. But it's also, you know, it gets to be super formulaic. And Lord of the Rings, while being like very archetypal in things, I think, no. I think it does a very good job of just making you feel like you're peeking in a window on the world. And I really love that. And that's one of the things, one of the several books that I'm actively attempting to read, Cordwainer Smith's The Rediscovery of Man. He does a fantastic job of making it clear that you are just peeking into a little window of his vision of the future. Similar to like the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov. And I love that because I like when it is clear that there's even if we're witnessing the exceptional events in a story, I want to know about the unexceptional. I want to know about the mundane. And this is having recently reread The Hunger Games. While I enjoyed it a lot more the second time around than I remember the first time, it's still something where like Mockingjay feels like we're taking it into such an exceptional point when I'm like, just give me my dystopia. Oh crap, no, just give me my dystopia. It doesn't need to be, you know, the fancy downfall of it. Just show me good government has done terrible things times. I don't really want I don't really want the exceptional if I don't know more about the history. And that was, I mean, rereading it with sort of an eye to that, a lot of the history is explicitly hand-waved in The Hunger Games, as basically our narrator didn't pay attention in history class, which I don't know. Like, at least it's honest about that, but you know, much as I love an unreliable narrator, I want to know if we're going to see something exceptional, I need to know why I care. And I care about how it impacts the common people. You know, as cool as reading about old wars can be, I don't really care about which, you know, royal family sat on the throne a few centuries, if not thousands of years ago. I care about, well, how their policies impacted people. So I guess I do somewhat care, right? If you know, the two warring families represent like fundamentally different ideologies for how the normal people are going to live, yeah, sure. But I don't know, I've got to know about the daily folks to really care. And Lord of the Rings gives you a sense that there has been a lot of daily life beyond just what we see, and I like that. Now, one of the other ones that I mentioned was Foundation, right? Isaac Asimov. I did just want to take a moment. I have watched, I don't actually know if I'm current on it because I do not keep up a subscription to Apple Plus TV. But man, when I first heard about it, I was terrified because Foundation is not a story that lends itself to TV. It is a story that is very fundamentally third person, and told about a culture rather than people. And movies and TV, in my experience, does not know how to tell stories that aren't person-centric. They even struggle when there's more than like one or two people. But I have to give them credit. I know that was just an A. Still, it's fine. It's fine. I have to give them credit. I have actually thoroughly enjoyed what I've seen of the adaptation. There's some fairly significant differences in how they're telling the story. But while they've made it person-centric, which is, I think, kind of how they have to tell it, they're still doing a good job of understanding that the core interest of it is not person-centric, and understanding that the core appeal is not person-centric, and still using them as a decent vector. They are simply the eyes through which we are seeing everything, and they're finding ways to bring the people across the massive multi-thousand-year story that's being told. So, genuinely quite impressed. You know, I guess the other thing that keeps happening is I jump up to, like, deliver it faster, but... And, like, there, when it's on that attack, you need to, but here, yeah. So, I'm overcommitting to my attacks because we can just shoot from there. Because, yeah, so, like, there, we would have been mid-attack, but instead, we were able to stay on the ground and adapt and adjust as we needed. Okay. Perfecto. In this stage, you definitely need to move up a bit. Ooh! Again. Risky. Risky for the bisky. Okay. Laser. Nice. Okay. Listen for that potion drop. Nope. Move to the right. That was also a nice thing that I had not yet thought about. Whoop. Which is a little sad to me as someone who likes to think about ways to break games. Woohoo! Okay. Potion on the right. There's the gap. Mind the gap. No! Oh, not one of these robots. Oh. The worst. The worst. We could have made that. We got a little sloppy. We took another hit at the end, but that was entirely preventable if we had not basically just given up. That is probably not retry worthy, but I'm sad about it. Okay. So definitely potion over there. Wahey. Boom, 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 boom. Ah. Got a little greedy. Boo 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 no. Ooh, okay. We will not restart that, but still sad about it. Okay. Not probably on a great time right now, but we will live. Well, never mind, we will not. I do love the phrase, I believe it was Admiral Yi Sun-shin. I'm not great with Korean pronunciation, and I'm only getting this from Extra History, fantastic animated series, by the way. But I believe he was the one who said, "Those who seek death shall live, those who seek life shall die," which I love as, like, a philosophy in battle of, you know, sometimes you have to take the risky move, right? Because if you are trying too hard to live, sometimes you won't do what's necessary to make sure that you do. Because you will get scared. So sometimes it's the ones who are least invested in staying alive that have the best chances because they can fight in the way that is required. I think that's a little bit of what we're learning to do with more aggressively collecting the potions as Marsh. Okay, that was good. Nice. Oh no! That we made up so much time right there, and if we get one more, I bet that's lethal. Yeah. Oh no! But, you know, we sought life, and we died. Okay, we're so close. And then I want to try the speedrun or two. And then I might, we will see. I might also do a little near tonight, because we definitely did not do a whole lot today, because, turned out we were closer to the end than thought. Okay, that's right. So the pillars to either side are also safe zones. Ooh, that was a lot of missed shots, but we will live. So long as we don't get hit. You mean like that? Yes, Johan, I do mean like that. That is in fact exactly what I meant we should not do. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Nice. Okay, that was one of our best transitions. A little sloppy there, but less slop than we've had sometimes. Nice, and regenning while the mine goes off. I much prefer mines to yours. But crash. Ah, no, the laser! Not the laser. Boom, 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 boom. I do also wonder what the triangle on his head is. I assume it's some sort of like power source, right? But it's kind of like the Death Star having that one ventilation shaft. Like, what are you doing? Someone should maybe defend that a bit better. Your engineers should perhaps be fired. Ooh. And perhaps the pilot of Marsh should be as well. Because I can just hear Silver in the chat that is not there, screaming, Marsh abuse! There we go. Okay, we sunk every shot we took. So even if we're a little slow. Okay. Oh, into the aftershock. Oh, no, 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 no. Realize that I need to stop that. There we go. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. I'm kind of impressed with the amount of dodging that was done. Okay. Ooh, that was kind of dirty. And not in a, like, oh, yes. That made me feel unclean with how good that was. No, that was just kind of sloppy. That wasn't like a sloppy burrito where you're like, oh yeah, that was good. I have feasted. That was more like the Man, I ate the greasiest chicken nuggets, and I'm now sitting here having eaten the meat foam, wondering, man, what am I doing with my life? The post-nugget regret. Kinda dirty. Okay. That was slow. Okay. Taking the shots while we can. Oh no. Oh no, and that's gonna be a kill. Oh, we keep getting hit right before the end. Right before. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. This music is baked into my soul at this point. Okay. Good dodging. Okay. Sinking in shots right and left. A little wild and uncontrolled there. Yeah, if you jump too high so that you're not instantly sinking them, they're pretty much all wasted. You are trying to get into Scrapa's eyeball. Into the scrap book. Nope. Ah, the shockwave. I think that or just like a poorly timed laser are my two most common. Which, I mean, in fairness, there's only X amount of attacks. Like, that's perhaps a somewhat vacuous thing to say. But like, man. Most common ways of getting hit. Okay. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, we got under it. Where's the potion? Okay. Phase 3. Should have been moving, but such is life. Ah. Phase 3 has apparently just a little more going on than the meat Han brain is prepared to handle as a poor organic creature. You know, how often has it gone well for me to aggressively go after a potion that's in the arm? The track record seems to suggest that the answer is don't. But I still don't know the boundaries of the dangers I should take. Okay. Nice. Sick. Okay. Zombie Marsh is doing alright. Okay. We even sank a lot of those shots. Nice. Okay. So, go over here. Listen. Nice. I can stay here. And sometimes it respawns there, and I think you're better off... I think you are best off... I think you are best off waiting in the spot that you just picked one up if you do get the blind one. Okay, that was risky. Ah, and too high of a jump. I think I'm just being too aggressive. Last one, like, yes, more aggressive, good, but I am not confident dodging the red ball attack, and I just need to focus on dodging it rather than trying to be quite as efficient. I may lose a few seconds, but we'll still, you know, we lose the battle, but we win the war. Or maybe we're actually losing the war, but winning the battle. Since, ultimately, we actually do care more about training up the speed, but... Okay, potion over there. Wait for it. Okay. Oh, that's too... Oh! What happened there? That was definitely too close for us to, like, properly dodge, but it's almost like we went off the screen. Okay. Boom, 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 oh no, no, no. Come on, nose, stop being itchy, please. Ooh, okay. Okay. Juiced everywhere but the eye. That was good. Nope. Okay. It's, I think, one hit away. So long as I don't do... Yep, there we go. It's like, so long as I don't do something very stupid. Oh, interesting. It just took a long time to spawn it there. Perfecto. Okay, on the right. So like here, just focus on living. Nice. Okay. There we go. Ooh. Not bad. Not bad. All right. I know that all we've got left to A+ is squish, but let's do some speedruns while we're still feeling good. Boom, 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 boom. Anything that's under 25, even if I'm not making improvement, anything under 25, I think is still probably a happy thing for me. Boom. 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 Okay. Missing the potion. This is not going to be a great starting time, but it's okay. We're doing the run. Boom. Build our consistency. We are not competing for our best time right now. That's it. We're building consistency. I gotta figure out how to look at the goals more favorably, right? So this is we want to be able to consistently get some good times in here. So we can take one more hit just fine. And we might need to get the time. Yep, we can take that. Okay, slow time, but we did it. We did it. We felt comfortable, which is important. Okay, that was maybe a little short, but probably the extent of our distance, so we should practice that. So that seems to be about as far to the right as we can go. Yeah, we're missing some of those shots. Okay, phase 2, fight. Okay, stay close. Stay less close. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, okay. Acceptable hit. We're not on any sort of exceptional pace. We are just doing this. Doing our reps. Making sure that we can be comfortable in a good position for grabbing wherever our terrible potion spawns are. Okay, so there we probably could have afforded to try and squeeze a little closer. Reduce the time that it took for them to travel. At this point, I think first phase is actually almost the most difficult for us on this guy. Because it's kind of easy to miss some of our shots. He's got a lot of travel back and forth. And there's just sort of the most happening here. There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. Oh man. Me getting distracted singing Buffalo Springfield? The best way for the conductor to beat me. Oh no. Okay, cannon, so we've got a little leeway. 2 more. Cannon again. Okay. That was a pretty smooth one. And one more. We can take the hit. Oh. Yeesh. Miscalculated. Okay. Slow pace. 10 seconds later than normal, but not a spike, so that's a little crappy, but not too much momentum. Oh dear. Okay, kind of saved that one. Oh, crap. So maybe practicing the volleyball more. We've just lost a huge amount of time and taken a hit. We spent 30 seconds on that. I think maybe also just learning to, like, if things are going too wrong, just let it go. Trust in our ability to get the next, like, serve as a spike. Okay. Oh, that is not pretty. Oh, no. Okay. We're gonna keep it going. Yeah, no, we're gonna keep it going. This sucks, but we learned from it. So that was inconsistent. We need to work on that. We went off our game because we got kind of royally effed up by a seagull. And we've allowed that to throw us, which is bad. We've allowed it to disrupt our inner peace. Okay, Vic-Talk. Oh, paying more attention to if the stream has changed rather than just wantonly holding down is probably something I need to practice, because the number of times it changes on me. Let's judge the hitbox. Nice. Not coffee and batteries at the same time? That seems hazardous. Not just to my health, but to theirs as well. I mean, part of what helps electricity travel through water, right? Is, it's having things in it, particularly like salts and whatnot. I don't know how coffee would do, but I know that I suspect it's got some amount of salt. But maybe I'm crazy. I am not a big coffee drinker. Okay, missed a lot of those. That was bad. Woohoo! Okay. So now, look for the spawn. That's always in the middle. Perfect. We are kind of nailing that, and so that's going to be the cannon. Don't get hit by the fish. Okay. We took the hit, but... oh, and wasted most of that. I think we could have avoided that hit. We were just kind of a little overly eager. Be wary the anglerfish. Something, something. Dark bramble. Sorry if that's... you know what? Never mind. There we go. Woohoo! Okay. We took the hits, but no penalty. That was not as controlled a peat beam as we would like, but... you know what? We will survive. And if we hadn't been, like, super thrown off on the Bellabrella, I think we would be at, what, like 8:15, which I think would be a fantastic time. So, you know, if only we'd done better. No, it's, I think those were easily preventable. I'm trying to shoot from a little too far away here. Too fancy with it. I think that would have been a fantastic time. Our nuts and bolts are good, and that's foundations are what we're looking for. Positive mental attitude. Oh man. Suddenly realizing I haven't watched Jacksepticeye in forever. As probably one of the first people that really got me into, like, long-term watching YouTube and such, I should probably watch more of that. Not, you know, not to copy style, but to just remember what did I think was cool enough for me to, like, really get into watching someone. Because, you know, I want to put out stuff that I myself would want to watch, which, funnily enough, like, everything goes on my YouTube channel, because at some point, I am confident that I'm going to want to rewatch it, right? Although, man, little sad that some of my, like, earliest streams, like Night in the Woods and all that stuff, yeah, we've got that up, but some of my earliest Magic streams, I was not recording, so those are lost to time. But, you know, it's like, even if it's not something that I myself watch back for myself right now, at some point I will probably want to, and it's not so, I don't think it is so much because I don't, like, enjoy my own content. It's just, man, it can be really hard to listen to your own voice, because it sounds a lot different. The voice that you hear as yourself in your head is very, it's very different than the one that you hear outside your head. That was rough. So it's just, I don't know, it's a bit of a change to listen to, especially for someone who just is not like a huge... I don't like the sound of my voice, and this is, I know I've had a number of people say, oh, it's a good voice, and I am not going to say that it is a bad voice. It is just not a voice that I myself am a particular fan of, which is part of why I don't edit as much as I probably should, but you know, we'll get there. It is all a process. I have gotten comfortable enough with myself to be able to just prattle on for, you know, 5 hours a day. That's pretty impressive. Because I'm still having to listen to my own voice when I'm speaking. The drift time on this is, I think, the fact that you hang so much more can be a little tough, because if you take too many jumps or take the wrong jumps, you're kind of stuck with it. Boom, 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 boom. We are still on great track for a sub 25. Boom, 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 boom. As long as we don't do weird accidental double jumps like that. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Phase 2 already. Scratch my eyebrow. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, when I stick to just talking to myself, I start self-critiquing and getting maybe a little way too personal. About, oh, that darn bounce. About how I like feel about my voice and my ability to stream and such, but the advice to anyone who, like myself, has some like self-confidence issues that are getting in the way of them just, you know, booting up OBS and hitting record and saying, screw it, we ball. My advice is just do it, and I know that probably sounds bad as someone who has also worried about that. You know, that's not as easy as it sounds, but that was, whoop. Okay, just focus up, sorry. For everyone who is hang on to my every word. There we go. 15-second penalty that we didn't need to take, but again, it's okay. It's okay. That was actually a pretty good time save for the penalty. And Skylia, we've been practicing. But, I don't know, it's... When I say that, please do not take that as a just do it better, right? What's the big deal? It is a big deal. It's tough to overcome that, but ultimately what helped me a lot was just picking something that I was comfortable with, what I played daily, and turning it on for a few hours. I think I did I think it was probably like an hour or so. The first time I did that, and it was obviously Magic, which is a game that I spend a lot of time on personally, so it was just something that I was very comfortable with. Woohoo! Which I think is good. Basically, just kind of do what you would normally do for like your daily play, if you have one. Because I know, you know, not everyone who's streaming is doing it for, you know, video games, but, you know, if you've got a daily sketch and you aren't going to die of shame if someone sees it, do that. You know, just do something that is super normal for you and have fun with it and see how it goes. And I think you'll be surprised. The biggest trick for a lot of people seems to be just talking. Like, I'm obviously shutting up a number of times during this. It would be, I think, much better content to watch if I edited it down, right? Like, you don't need every single second of dead air. Whoop. Now for like speedruns and whatnot, obviously having the full thing since it's all kind of part of it, but like I might try and edit down the near videos. I don't know because I want to make, again, I'm viewing it almost more archival, right? Whoop. Right, you don't need to jump, Johan. Whoop. Whoop. Sorry, focus on? But it is trying to, like, keep up constant banter. Like, even when I'm going quiet, you'll notice that I will say something like, focus. Because I want you to know that I'm still engaged, and so on and so forth. I'm still thinking about the fact that there's an audience. Because I do try and watch. I have not been as good with it because recently since streaming. But, just watch some folks that are pretty small and see how they do it. And this is not to put anyone down, but a lot of people that I see who are still fairly small and just starting out. I'm fairly small and just starting out. I'm fairly big in the sense of there's an actual audience and whatnot. Like, it is bigger than a lot because a lot of people stream to no one. I essentially stream to no one sometimes, right? You know, that is not a bad thing. It can still be quite fun. Nice. That was also no damage. Hell yeah. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. But just a lot of times you'll pop in and people aren't speaking, so you have no clue what their style or personality is like. So how the hell are you supposed to know whether or not you want to stick around, right? And, you know, sometimes, you know, you can stream without commentary. I've watched people do that, and sometimes just chill gameplay, but if you don't have, like, text or something, you know, there's not a lot of your personality showing through, which is why people stick around, right? Why are they watching you rather than someone who is better at the game? I suck at these games! And yep, folks watch. I hope, because I'm somewhat interesting to hear yap and jabber on. Just, you know, do what's normal for you. Oh crap. And find your style and your voice. And just remember to use that voice. Okay. Almost took a penalty. Would have loved to grab that. But, you know what? Oh, missed a number of those. Okay. Ah, there's the penalty. Trying to get too aggressive because I just noticed the time that, hey, that could be a sub 20, but I think that was pushing it, even without the penalty, and with the penalty, that's just about certainly a no. It is now officially a no. And yeah, even without the penalty, I don't think that was quite there. We'll see. This is still going to be a PB. Yep. Would not have made it. This phase always lasts both longer and shorter than I think it should. There we go. So even with what, like, all told, that's like a minute of penalties? A minute of penalties and some slop? That's 20-30? Hell yeah. You know what? I'm gonna call it there. I think that's good. That's improvement. I'm happy with that. So I'm not gonna worry too much. We can have a hand on our head. Oh, that's so spoopy. Amazing. Oh, that's, I bet, from Vic Talk, but there we go. Even better Halloween. Oh, and a little bit. Oh my god. Yes. That is so Halloween. We're a hand pyre. I want to suck your hands. Ugh. Yeah, there we go. And that's also like proper pitch black. That's, you know, you can just about think that maybe that's Johann if you squint hard enough at the white eyes and mouth. But wow, hell yeah. Let's ogle our time. That was a 2028. Nice improvement. So yeah, it's a minute of penalties. So even if it's going to be tough, we know that we can keep that pace. That was a faster pace than what we did, because even on our previous one, I think we took 30 seconds of penalties and we were what, like 21:30. So we were just fast. We were like a minute and a half faster. If you don't count the penalties, and a lot of those penalties weren't things that we took to do it faster. Those were just penalties that we took on accident. I think that's sort of a distinction that you need to keep in mind. That is awesome. So yeah, we're gonna call it there. We got gains, and I'm not gonna frustrate myself trying to push that further. Building consistency I think is a good thing, but you know, that was pretty solid. I'm happy with that. I think genuinely one of the biggest differences between that and last night, you know, the several hours that we got, was attitude, because I had let myself get really frustrated. Instead of walking away, I let myself keep going. And this is, you know, talking back to like magic and competitiveness, like I was talking last time. Magic is something that I get invested in, and it's really easy. I like to draft, and you can spend a lot of the in-game currency that you farm. I'm good enough that I can keep like 5,000 gems going for an entire set and get set completion, because I can draft well enough that you pay in 1,500 gems and I get back on average about 1,400 gems. So I'm only paying like 100, and then you've got your daily income. I can sort of, I'm not truly infinite, but I can like ride that wave of it, which is fantastic. But if I get frustrated and I just keep going back to it, those go out the window so fast. And I really learned to like limit myself to like 1 draft, maybe 2 drafts a day, so I can focus and have fun and be present. And I think I need to do that with the speedrunning as well. Drafts are stressful because you're putting resources and other time that you spent farming them on the line. Speedruns are stressful because you're putting time and your skill on the line. So don't do it tilted. Don't do it when you're frustrated. So hell yeah, that's I think some fantastic improvement. I'm happy with that. Thank you for listening to me yap all throughout that. Hope that some of it maybe helps inspire you to do whatever you're gonna do. Streaming and YouTube, I'm not big. Don't look at me as like, oh yes, I'm the paragon of stuff. I am not editing my stuff down. I'm not doing shorts. I'm not pushing social media. I'm not saying remember to like, share, and subscribe, my dudes. Because I feel goofy doing that, and that's I appreciate that. I appreciate people following. I appreciate people sharing around if people enjoy it. But like, I don't want to push for growth, because my goal is not growth in the size sense. My goal is personal growth. That's why I do this. So, you know, if you're trying to do this seriously, don't do what I do. But if you're just trying to have some fun, do what I do. Have fun with it. Sometimes get frustrated, and use it as a way to sort of document that growth. We improved our time by 1:15, and we've got a lot in there that we can get it under. We can meet Silver's goal of under 20 by the end of the year easy, I think. I don't know if I want to push it further than that. I will definitely play more Marsh, but I don't know if I want to push for that much tighter of a goal without at least maybe a little bit more of a break in between. But that's huge. I'm happy. I had a blast. Definitely will, if we do get the sub 20, I think we'll probably just focus more on like achieving impossible on things. But I'm very happy with this. So thank y'all. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy the speedrun, enjoy all that good stuff. And you know, take care of yourselves, do great things. Thank you for watching, but for now, bye!